So if you just got your new iPad, today we're going to cover some of the best tips and tricks. It's going to be pretty similar whether you got the regular iPad 11, iPad mini 7, or the new iPad Air or iPad Pro. Some of these are going to be personal preference, but if you go into display settings, you've got several options like light and dark mode. You can also choose automatic, so it'll change on sunset to sunrise, or you can do a custom schedule as well. Personally, I turn off True Tone because I feel like it's a little less yellow. You've also got auto lock, where you can choose how many minutes before the iPad goes to sleep or locks the screen. You can also swipe down up in the corner, hold down on the screen brightness, and then you've got 3 of those shortcuts right here, like dark mode, night shift. You also have True Tone right there as well. Also, if you go into settings, under multitasking and gestures, if you go down to the bottom where it says swipe finger from corner, you can do a screenshot or a quick note just from swiping the left-hand corner or from the right. Of course, you can also do a screenshot holding down power and volume down at the same time. Probably faster just to swipe from the left-hand corner though. If you swipe down from the top, you'll get your notifications. If you swipe down from the right-hand corner, you've got the control center. You can see you've got a lot of different shortcuts. Some of these, if you just tap and hold, it gives you other options as well. To get more options like the media player, you can tap on the little icon to the right to switch back and forth, or just swipe up and down. I also like it with iPads how you can turn the volume up and down up in the control center, where you don't always get that option with Android, till here recently with Samsung, surprisingly. If you want to access your recent apps, just swipe from the bottom and hold. Then if you want to clear them, just swipe up on each one. If you swipe back and forth on this little line down at the bottom, you can quickly switch between apps that are currently open. There's also another option where you can just use 4 fingers to swipe back and forth. This one you may already know, but if you want to customize the home screen, move apps around, add widgets, or create widget stacks, you just tap and hold on the home screen until the icon starts shaking. Then you can move stuff around. You can also tap and hold on each icon to get several different options to choose from, and it's going to be different depending on which app you're choosing. You'll notice some apps have more options versus others. You can also tap and hold on the home screen, tap edit up in the corner. You can add widgets, customize, or edit pages. If you hit customize, you can make the icons larger. You can even make the icons tinted, and you have a lot of different options when it comes to colors. Over here on the left, you'll notice you have shortcuts or widgets. You can tap and hold on each one to get different options, or you can add and subtract as you like. You'll also notice if you swipe up on some of them, you've got multiple widgets stacked on top of each other. You can modify that as well just by choosing Edit Stack. Hit the little plus sign. Then just tap anywhere to close it, which is kind of nice. Then you can just swipe through each of the widgets right in the same spot. You'll also notice if you tap and hold on the lock screen, you can customize the wallpaper, choose different collections. You can also blur the background as well. You've also got different widgets you can add to the lock screen. Just keep in mind, depending on what your wallpaper is, it may be kind of hard to see some of the widgets, so it's something you may just have to play around with. You can also go into settings under home screen and app library, where you can choose whether new downloaded apps go to the home screen or to the app library only, which is just down here in the corner, in case you don't want all the apps to take up space on the home screen. One nice thing about using an iPad is that you can use AirDrop to share files with a Mac computer, or if you have other Apple devices, you'll see the AirDrop icon. And then as long as you have AirDrop turned on from your other devices, you'll see the list right here. It even works if you have large video files, which surprisingly copies over faster than you would think. Now this one may be different depending on which iPad you have. As far as which Apple Pencil you can use, regardless of which one you have, You can connect it by plugging into the end of the Apple Pencil into the charging port on the iPad. You may see a window pop up to ask if you want to pair it, and then that's pretty much it. Once it's paired, you shouldn't have to connect it again until you want to charge it. If you have the USB-C Apple Pencil, you can even use it while it's charging. You can also charge it through a wall adapter, but it actually charges pretty quick just using the charging port right on the iPad. You'll also notice when it's charging, if you have the battery widget over here on the left, you'll see it's charging at about 50%. I also like how you can attach the USB-C Apple Pencil right to the side. It doesn't charge it, but just easier to keep track of. You can also connect Bluetooth devices to the iPad pretty easily up here in the control center. I'm using my Xbox controller as an example, but it's pretty much the same process with Bluetooth headphones, keyboards, that kind of stuff. Once you get your controller or Bluetooth device into pairing mode, it should just pop right up here. If it doesn't, I would just turn off Bluetooth, turn it back on, and then it should pop right up. Once you hit pair, it should be ready to go. Nice thing is, now that most newer iPads have USB-C, you can use USB-C dongles, external drives to copy files. You can also use a USB-C HDMI adapter to connect your iPad to a projector, external monitor, or TV. If you go into settings under Touch ID and passcode, you'll see right here in the middle, it says add a fingerprint. One thing I would suggest is doing the fingerprint scanner with 2 different hands, so it's a little easier to unlock if it's in landscape or portrait mode. Also, if you don't like it when you're typing on your iPad, how it makes sounds each time that you tap, you can go into settings under sounds. There towards the bottom, you'll see the toggle for keyboard sounds. You can also turn off lock sound, change the ringtones, and you can adjust what it sounds like when you get alerts on your iPad as well. Now, if you want to open up 2 apps at the same time, you'll see 3 little dots up in the center of the screen. Once you tap on that, it'll give you the option to slide over or do split screen. You can also swipe over to left and right there in the middle if you need to make one app a little bit larger or smaller. If you do slide over, it puts one app in a floating window that you can move on either side. I know there's a lot of other stuff that you can do on here, but hopefully this helps you get started and might give you some ideas on what to try out or how to customize your new iPad. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.